Let's turn these boring images into a stunning video campaign in PixieLabs. Today, we are going to create an ad campaign promo for the furniture brand Furnitureland. Let's see how we do it in PixieLabs. So the first thing we need to do is go to the Data tab, click on it, and click on this Browse All Data, and create a table. Here, we need to add a name, and click on Create. And here we want to add a column in which we're going to add all of our assets. And let's change the text to Image. Now we can click here. And now we want to add some table rows, so let's click on this several times. And now we need to add our content here. And I can just drop the assets directly on the sections. And now that we're done, we can go to the Canvas section and create a new canvas. I will give it a name and click on Create. And the first thing we need to do here is to bring our table, so let's click on Data and Data Table class. I can drag it here. And now I need to load the table, so let's click on No Table and Furnitureland Assets. Here we want to click on the dirty rows only to deselect it because we don't need this option right now. And let's click on Parallel so that our generations will work in parallel and not sequentially. And now we need to load our columns. So let's click on Add Column and pick this Image References 1. And we want to create a new column so that we can add the images that are generated to that one. So let's click on New Column. I will call it Generated Images and change the result content type to Image in the dropdown. And click on CMP, which means Compute. This turns this column into a place where all the assets will appear instead of where we are pulling the assets from, like we are doing in Image References. So let's click on Apply. The next step is to right-click and go to TextOps, Text Input. Here we will put our prompt, and we can search for an image generator. I'm going to use Nano Banana Pro, add it here. And now we need to connect our nodes. So let's connect the image output to the image input and the text output into the text input. Let's add our prompt. It will be, add the furniture in the middle of a lush, sunlit jungle. Afterwards, we want to set the aspect ratio of our images. To do that, we click on the image generation node and set the aspect ratio in the right panel. Click the drop-down and select your ratio. I'll pick 16:9. Now we can connect the image URL to this input. And we are almost ready to start generating. We just need to add one last node. In the Execution tab here, we can draw an execution node and connect it here and here. Everything I'm doing in the sidebar can be done with right-click and search the node here. So now that we are ready, we can start generating. And when we press on Run, we get this pop-up and we can press on Execute Batch to continue. And here we have the results, which look fantastic. But it seems like they are cropped, but in fact, they are not. We just need to recalibrate the aspect ratio of this node. So let's right-click and go to Scale and Match to Media, and now it appears as it should in the correct aspect ratio. And the additional thing that is really unique to PixieLabs is that we actually edit all these images directly into the table we created before. So if I'm going to the Data tab, I can see the images right here, exactly as we generated them. And now the next step is to use these images to create a video. So in order to do that, I will move to the right, and I need to get the table again. So I will grab it and move it here. And then I need to pick the table again and deselect the dirty rows. Click on Parallel. And here I need to select the generated images, because we are going to use them as the first and last frame for our video. And I need to create a new column, which will be called Generated Videos. And here I need to change this to Video and click on Compute and Apply. Another thing I need to do, because we are creating a video with a start and end frame, is going to the Add Row Offset. And I can just keep it on cycle n-1. This will make sure that the frames we generated before will be used as a start and end frame for our video. And now we need to add a video generation node. And I will connect it here. And the generated images go here, and the offset that will generate them as a start and end frame will go here. And the last thing I need to do here is to add a prompt. So right-click TextOps, Text Input, and my prompt will be Create a Move over Animation from right to left. Let's connect this one into the text input and the video URL to our compute end. Let's just double-check that the aspect ratio is correct, and it is. And like before, we need to go to the execution and drag the execution node, connect it here, and it seems like we are ready to go. So let's click on Run and Execute Batch. And here we got the videos, and again, In order to view them in the correct aspect ratio, right-click Scale and Match to Media. And here I can play the results, which look really cool. Now it's your turn. Turn your products into a full campaign with PixieLabs, and I will see you again in the next video.